Sarah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me and thank you for inviting me to the show.
Of course.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
pleasure to be here.
so
It's
I
our
had
pleasure
one.
to have you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to have you on.
Yeah.
So I got an
Because
open
you
question
ruined my
here.
sleep for about a couple weeks now, so it's all good.
The ruined sleep. There you go. The the sleep
That's
that keeps the one eye open at night now.
Well, that means,
yeah.
I did my job.
Yeah, you did. And all of my friends can't sleep because of you two, so I'm just saying.
So to get to
So
know
we
you a
got to
little bit.
talk about the. Oh,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Brandon.
Just
No,
to get to
you
know
go.
you a little
You
bit.
go.
What what got you into acting?
Well, it's multiple things, but it's accumulation of, I grew up my partial childhood, I grew up on a farm. And, back in the day, I'm not going to say because then I'm going to age myself, but we didn't have a phone, we didn't have internet, we had maybe two channels on our TV. And,
Oh,
as
geez.
a kid, living on a farm, you have like all this room. So you really get to, to entertain yourselves. You just create and play make believe and, put on plays for family and, just kind of get creative. And so I
Hmm.
think that's kind of where it all started. And as a child, my grandma would babysit my sister and I when my mom would be working. And so, one of our favorite things to do was to go to the local video store and rent movies, VHS movies.
Those were the
And I
days.
miss those days because those were
Yep.
very special. Um, and one time I was around 5 years old, I saw, they had this new release section. And on there was this VHS movie with this doll with a knife on the cover. And it was Child's Play. And I
Ah,
was
there you
like,
go.
that is awesome. Like I was just like, oh my gosh. I was saying to my sister, we have to watch this. So somehow we talked our grandma into renting it for us. And I don't think my mom was too happy about that because my mom, she's very protective and, she didn't want us to be watching that kind of stuff. So, but that's what's cool about grandmas. They do the stuff that,
The
they take
parents
care of their
don't want.
grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So I watched Child's Play and I was like just enamored with that film. I loved the feeling it gave me. I was scared. I was terrified. I was frightened of my dolls for months after watching that. But I loved that feeling so much. I wanted more. And so that's where the start of my love of horror came from. And that comes full circle for me today. Um, my love of horror and the art side of it, acting. And I would watch all these great horror films and see all these beautiful females in the films and strong, independent, kicking ass. And I was always like, I want to do that. I want to be that woman, half naked, bloodied, battered, running through the woods at someone or running away from someone or being the bad guy or good guy,
Hmm,
whatever. I wanted to do that. So,
there you go.
and that followed me in, yeah, that followed me into high school where a lot of kids were, drinking, doing drugs, the typical stuff kids do. I never got into any of that. I found a group of friends that loved creating and I made short horror films and things like that with my friends and I didn't start drinking till I was like 22. So that wasn't something that was high on my list of things to do, but I loved creating. And when I was in high school, I'm sorry, when I got out of high school, got into college, I went to school for criminal justice. And because I love, learning about the criminal mind and, what makes them tick and things like that. So I was like, well, maybe I want to work in the criminal justice field. So I went to college for that. And while I was going to college for criminal justice, I took a theater class and I fell in love with acting all over again. So, and then I basically quit school and started acting, not soon after, but a little bit after that, because I was like, you know what, this is what I want to do. And it all makes sense because it's all followed me throughout my whole life. And, I just love it. And this is something I want to do, and I have been doing now since 2007. I've done over 100 different types of TV shows, movies, short films, feature films, music videos. I mean, you name it, I've done it.
Jeez, over 100.
That's a quick gist of me.
That's a lot.
It feels like I have a lot of watching to do.
Yeah, that's a
You
lot.
do.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a lot like that much.
I didn't think it was that. Yeah, I didn't think it was that much.
I'm definitely a go-getter, so I'm very, I didn't get a agent until about a year ago. So I've gotten all these gigs on my own, and a lot of it is just being persistent. It's you learning and growing, and just being focused. And a lot of the gigs that I've gotten over the years were from the connections I've made with all these other films. Because when you're on a film set, everybody has their specific job, but you don't know if that PA is making his own movie. You don't know if the set designer is a director. I mean, everybody has other things that they're doing. So if you're professional, if you have, you're on time, you're non-dramatic, and, you're just in it to win it with the team, making this, show or movie or whatever together. People see that and they love that. So, yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there.
No,
you're good.
You're good. You're good.
You're educating everybody to go watch your films, which everybody should do.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I mean, a lot of them, like my older stuff, of course, it's, I started doing films that were low budget, like, very small budget. And, I just did as much work as I could just to gain the experience and to build my resume and just to learn. I just immersed myself in anything and everything that I could get my hands on. And, they're not the best, but it doesn't matter. Everything leads you to the next thing. And you have to, like, nothing, it's very rare that you just start out on a really great movie. You have to build up to that. This day and age, it's a little more different because the technology is really great and anybody can make something on their phone, basically. But back in my day, people had high-8 camcorders or VHS camcorders or, so the technology wasn't, as good as it is today. But that's, some great advice to give to other people is, just try to get your hands on anything and everything, whether it pays or not. You will get to that point, but you have to build and start somewhere because it doesn't just happen overnight.
Yeah. You gotta get your foot in the door.
You gotta lay the groundwork first.
You gotta put the work in.
Yeah.
And you have.
You can't just expect it to come to you. You gotta go out there and search for it and grind for it.
Nothing happens overnight and nothing comes to you. You have to be the one to be the go-getter and, you have to put the work in. Nobody else will do it for you. You have to do it.
That makes the most sense. So you ready to divulge and get dirty into this film? Because, like,
I don't know what film you're talking about.
Yeah, what film are we talking about there, Brandon? Because Garden of Eden Garden of Eden hit
Yep.
digital, and I instantly saw people commenting, saying it's the most brutal film. And when you say most brutal film, I'm like, let me take a look at this. So
Check
I was
this
like, I'm
movie
gonna
out,
take a look at
people.
this because I saw brutal, most horrific horror movie ever created is what I saw. One tagline.
Yeah.
Well, that
And
is quite the compliment.
5 seconds in, you see how gory this movie is going to be, and I'm like, all right, I'm in for this ride now. And it gets off the rails. I've been telling people one of the
Quick.
taglines I've been saying to people is, it makes Terrifier look like Home Alone, and that's exactly
Damn.
what I think it is, because I'm speechless with this film because it's probably my top movie of the year right now, as we sit
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh, thank you so much. Well, let me give everyone a quick rundown on what Garden of Eden is. So, Garden of Eden is a story about a family, the Edens. They are very well off beyond their means. They live in this big, beautiful house, and they want to give back to the community. And by giving back to the community, they throw these beautiful, lavish garden parties where everyone dresses in masks, so nobody really knows who anyone is. It's kind of like a secret society sort of thing. And while people are there, one lucky guest can get their most wished for dreams to come true. But some people's dreams are other people's nightmares.
Yep.
Yeah. That's as
all,
much as I would give away. Yeah, pretty much.
That's as much as I'm going to say about it.
That's as much as I would say about it too, because some of those dreams that you would think are total nightmares to others, exactly like she said.
Yep.
Well,
you know, so right.
Nightmare
You know,
ain't the
this
word.
is a film. Right. I mean, this is a film that this is the second film from my production company that I started with the writer Joe Netter, the director Marcel Walls, and myself. We started a production company in 2022, and we shot our first film called That's a Wrap. And That's a Wrap is more of a 90s style whodunit slasher, kind of along the lines of Scream. And because we're all huge fans of horror, so we have all this, knowledge of the horror genre, and also knowledge of all these other films that we've worked on. Us coming together was really something great, because then we all could bring something to the table. And so we wanted to start off with a fun 90s style slasher, with Serena Vincent's in it from Cabin Fever, and a lot of great people are in it. And, we wanted to just have fun with that, with our first film. So when we got an opportunity to do a second one, we wanted to flip the switch and do something very different. We wanted to do something that was, in a sense, commercial. So beautifully shot, beautiful sets, story-driven, character-driven. But then we wanted to also incorporate, obviously lots of gore, lots of messed up stuff. And, we wanted it to be controversial, because a lot of times when, we didn't want to play it safe. And that's what gets people talking. And that's what gets people, thinking. We didn't want to do your typical cookie cutter thing. So we wanted to flip the switch and just go all out, basically. And this was actually a fun fact. This is the first film that Joe actually wrote for Marcel, the director. So this film has kind of been about 6 years in the making. It's one of those things where you need to find the right person that's willing to put the money in to make a film like this, because it's so controversial, and it deals with a lot of elements that people don't really want to talk about. It deals with so much stuff that's taboo. And so, we were fortunate enough to find an executive producer that believed in us, that believed in our product, that believed, that wanted to come along for the ride. And he didn't even read the script when we made it. So
What?
that's how, but he believed in us, and he wanted to see what we were able to do. And yeah, and here we are today.
Wow.
Wow.
That is
And that's the
wild.
thing in
Wild.
indie filmmaking. You guys cover indie artists, you cover indie filmmakers, which I appreciate so much, and we all do. We want to, you just want to do something different. You want to kind of break out of the mold, and just kind of go balls to the wall.
And y'all did.
You all definitely did.
Almost literally.
Literally.
Well, and the thing is, when you're making gory films, everything in Garden of Eden serves a purpose. It's
Yes.
not gore just for gore's sake. There's a reason why the things are happening the way they are. There's a reason why, everything is happening. So it's not just gore for gore, which is fine. Everybody has their own thing. Like Terrifier, for example, it's basically gore for gore's sake, which is great because, they just announced today that they got, they're going to have a setup at Universal Horror Nights.
Yep.
So they're going to have their own maze and everything, which I think is the coolest thing ever, because the Terrifier series, that was independently made too. And, you have to, that film was 16 years in the making. And so anything is possible. Those guys worked their asses off, and just like all of us, and they got very lucky to hit it. And, Art the Clown just hit people a certain way. And I think that's just the coolest thing, because they just said, F it, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to, just go crazy. So anything is possible. And yeah, I'm just grateful to be able to be, a part of telling these stories. And, whether they're really crazy or, whatever, they make people think, they make people feel. And I, as an artist, that's something that's very important to me. It takes people on a journey and on a ride, and it kind of takes them out of, maybe they're having a shitty day, so they can kind of immerse themselves into something else and just forget about it for a few hours.
Yeah. And that's what Garden of Eden did for me. It made me take a shower right afterwards. So I have to ask, like, how did you and Marcel get linked up in the first place? Because it feels like ever since you and Marcel linked up, y'all have just been hitting home run after home run. So when did the whole relationship start?
Well, thank you. So we actually met at a Friendsgiving out here in LA. So when people move in from outside of LA to here to, work in the film industry, you don't have your family here. You don't have a lot of friends here. So, we had some close friends that we went to, had a nice Thanksgiving all together. And Marcel was at the Friendsgiving too. And that's actually where I met him. And we didn't really talk too much. We just, hung out with everyone the whole night. But soon after that, we were at a bar or something, and Marcel came up to me and he was like, hey, I'm doing this new movie called Rootwood, the one I was telling you about. Mm-hmm. And I think you would be perfect as one of the characters. Do you want to read the script? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. That is how a lot of these Hollywood stories and things actually happen, is you meet people and relationships are formed and other things are formed that way too, naturally. So that's kind of where it all started. We did Rootwood together, and we became really good friends during that shoot, and we stuck by each other. After that, we kept in touch. We would hang out, and Joe came into the picture, the writer, And he started hanging out with Marcel too, and those two clicked, and it all kind of just clicked together. And then the three of us made our first film together in 2018 called Blind. I don't know if you got a chance to see that one. That one's on that's on Tubi. It's Tubi, Amazon, Apple Play. But
I'm
that's
my
the
weekend right
first
now.
film. Yeah, that's the first film the three of us did together.
Okay.
And Jill wrote the script, Marcel directed it, and I star in it. And I'll give you a quick rundown on what that movie is. So that film is about an actress. She's at the height of her career. She just finished a really awesome action film called Fogstorm, and she decides to get laser eye surgery. Something goes wrong, and she ends up blind. And you meet her about a year into her new life, coping with her new life, trying to regain her life back and love herself again because she lost everything. So while she's going through this, whole life change, there is a super fan called Pretty Boy stalking her. So that's kind of where we all.
That's where the name.
So I think you're gonna do that one. It's that one's a definite. It's a definite slow burn. Kind of a 70s style vibe, drama film with horror elements. And the sequel just came out a month ago, right before Garden of Eden, called Pretty Boy. So now if you guys want, you can do a double feature night of Blind and then Pretty Boy, because Pretty Boy takes place right after Blind. It's a direct sequel.
Now I'm mad because I just watched Pretty Boy the other day.
You did.
Yeah, now you got. Now you got to turn around and watch the other one. Well, then
you're gonna appreciate this.
I saw it earlier.
I
was going to say something about it. I'm like,
seen the cop.
Is that a Pretty Boy mug over there?
Yes, it is.
I seen
Pretty Boy was absolutely fantastic.
Where can I buy one?
Hey, where can I buy a mug?
You know what? I think we only got a handful made specifically for some cast and crew, and I don't think you can get it anywhere.
Oh. Right. So I actually watched Pretty Boy after I saw Garden of Eden, because I got everything queued up on Apple TV. I got his Jurassic Reborn film.
Oh yeah, I just went to that premiere.
That movie was fantastic too. Like, as I said, I think Marcel is going to be the next Damien Leone here in probably a couple of films, because I am amped for Brute 1976 and Brute 1986.
Yes, we can talk about that after. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We are super stoked. Yeah, but Pretty Boy you can find everywhere. Lionsgate put that out, so which is great, because we had some nice push from Lionsgate to get it out there, and it was a really big deal for us, and that just came out, so you can get it. It's only on streaming, unfortunately. There's no physical media, but hopefully down the road maybe they'll get some physical.
I love physical media. The only physical media I buy is independent stuff.
I love that.
I don't buy mainstream stuff anymore.
No,
I don't think a lot of places have mainstream anyway.
Maybe our Best Buy has nothing. Our Target, our Walmart has nothing anymore.
No, you can buy it off of Amazon.
And I gotta say that's that really killed a lot of filmmakers trying to make money back. And the physical media portion of the business side was very important, because we could actually make money back from that. Now the only way to really make money back is from streaming services, and that is just, there's not a lot of money in it. No. And so it's definitely a challenge. So when you go to these conventions and you see independent artists and things like that, thank you for everybody for, going up to the table, buying something, showing support, even sharing online, sharing links of, check out the interviews, check out their movies, all of that really helps us because we want to keep creating and keep telling these stories. And the only way we can do that is with everybody's, love and support. So,
Yeah.
it's, in the horror genre, everybody's very supportive. So it's a really great thing.
Yeah, it seems like it's getting bigger and better every day because of like films like Terrifier and
right
everything else.
And that's the thing. Like Terrifier really opened the door to these studios. They're seeing, oh, independent guys. Whoa, there is something to it. Maybe there is something to independent film. And there is. So, there's so much creativity and so many beautiful, crazy, awesome stories that you haven't even seen yet that are out there.
Yeah.
So, it's not just the big box office, movies that, are getting people in the door. It's the little guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wish we had more independent films run in our AMC and stuff. Like,
and that's the big
We're
thing.
just
Just like
now-
Justin said, we don't get them in the theaters as much as we should.
No, it's mostly independent theaters because it costs so much money to get movies in the big theaters. Like it's nearly impossible to get, a film unless the studio or the distribution company is willing to put the money in to, get the movies out there. So good news is Brute 1976. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it is coming out in August, and we are getting a limited theatrical release.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I don't know where it's going, and I won't know till August, but that film will be in select theaters, and we are beyond ecstatic.
Yes, please. AMC, please. I don't ask for much.
I'll be Googling and searching to see if I can find it and make sure it's AMC.
Well, I
Maybe.
will tell you, you guys, you've been on my page, and I post all the time, so I will keep everybody up to date. And awesome. We also have Instagrams for each movie. We have an Instagram for Garden of Eden, Pretty Boy, Brute 1976, and we haven't talked much about it, but we do have a sequel coming to Brute 76 as well.
Yep, and I've already started promoting Brute on our Instagram already.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Because if anything is like Garden of Eden, I'm going to be in the theater.
We gotta be there.
I have to fly somewhere.
Well, that's like I said earlier, driving 2 hours to a theater that may have it. I'm game. I drive that every day anyway for work. So
you're awesome.
If I have to go 3 hours, I have to go 3 hours.
Yeah. Like, that's what I said. If I gotta drive 2-3 hours for a movie, I'll do it if it's worth it. And
hell yeah.
These independent movies have definitely been worth it lately.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And with our films, every film just keeps getting better and better and better because our budget, we were able to go up on the budget as well. So when you can expand your budget, you can expand your world and you can do more. Like Blind, for example, you guys haven't seen that one yet, but that budget was $30,000. That's it. And when you watch the movie, it doesn't look like that.
It never feels like that.
No, it never.
And that's one of the things I love about independent films. You can't tell because
sometimes
of how great it's shot, how it looks.
Sometimes you can tell if the camera's not good or the lens isn't good. But yeah, this one, it's and from Blind, every movie that we've done has gone up in budget. So we've been fortunate enough to have those opportunities to go bigger and to add more. So then the effects can be bigger. We can do more special effects, more blood, more gore, more, craziness going on. And you will see that in Brute 76 and Brute 86.
I can't wait. August
Nice.
29th can't come fast enough.
Right.
So let's deep dive into this bloodbath of a movie, shall we?
There we
So
go.
if anybody's listening to this, after listening to this, go watch this film, and then right afterwards you're going to need a shower. So I'm just warning everyone
Yeah.
because this
I
movie
wonder why
is.
you say that.
I wonder why I say that too.
Oh.
But go on Amazon
Oh.
and Apple TV and buy it. Yeah.
And buy it. Yeah. Buy a
So
copy.
let's start this off. I have to ask, what was your reaction to the script when you first got it?
I wasn't. I'm trying to think. That's a great question. No one's asked me that yet, actually. I was like, holy shit. We're going there. We are going there, and we are unforgiving. We're just gonna say F it, and this may piss people off. It's definitely gonna make people talk. So yeah, when I first read the script, I was like, holy shit. Because look, I knew, Joe Marcel and I, we were all great friends. And, we all knew each other very well. And so Joe knew exactly what Marcel was into. Marcel loves the movie Martyrs, the one from, I think, the French film Martyrs.
Yes.
Okay.
And he loves that really gory, crazy stuff, but also films that are shot beautifully and things like that. And those are the kind of movies that he made back when he lived in Germany. So, for him to be able to make a film like this, and to bring all that back from what he, used to make was really a great thing for him. So I kind of knew when I read the script what I was getting into. And yeah, and when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, this is nuts.
This is gonna cook and cook good is basically what everybody's gonna say about this film.
Right.
All right, Brandon, what you got?
So what was it like being on set with everyone?
Oh, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, this, like I said, it was the second film from our production company. So, I'm not only working just on the acting side, but I'm also on the production side. So I'm helping with everything that needs to be, done, putting out fires, doing what a producer would do. And, it was great. It's great being a part of the process. And that is one thing that I loved about the three of us coming together and making this production company is, I get to see the whole world now and how things really work, and the business side and the artistic side. And I've learned so much along the way. So I was there for the casting process. I was there, getting everything ready, the logistics, running the location scouting, and literally everything. Renting, the vehicles we need to transport things. And so, I was there from jump. And at that point, we had a really great team behind us. Our crew was amazing. It's a lot of the people that we used for the first film as well that we held on to. Our DP, Marcus Friedlander, he was also with us during the process of pre-production. And, he has such an artistic eye, and he's so good at what he does. So, being a part of it from jump and seeing it all come together on set is really a beautiful thing, because making movies is hard. It is not easy. You have to be really dedicated to be able to, number one, work in this industry, but number two, make an actual movie. So to see it all start to come to life is really a wonderful and special thing. So being on set was amazing, from being in front of the camera and being behind the camera. It's very stressful because I can't just focus on, my character. I have to focus on everything happening around,
Yeah.
So
you got both
it's a
sides.
challenge, but it's a challenge that I love. Right. it's a
Wow.
challenge that, you know, I love. Like I said, I'm a go-getter. And I just soaked everything up and learned a whole lot when we were shooting that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I can only imagine what basically you basically have your hand in everything basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a preference? Would you rather just be an actress and not do all that, or just focus on just
Well, the thing is,
your role?
it's you know, making a movie is one of the most rewarding things as an artist, and being there from start to finish and going to the premiere and seeing everyone there, the cast and the crew, and friends and family, and fans watching it with you. It's something that is just very special. So yes, I love doing movies and just going on set, acting, and then leaving and doing my thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more rewarding when you can actually be there through the whole process. Acting and all of that is very rewarding too, and I love that. And I'm just very fortunate that I was able to, have this production company and make these films that we did. So yeah, I mean, both are very rewarding in different ways. I will say that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Brandon, what you got?
So my last question that I have, and I know Justin probably got more than I do.
Dude, I could
I
talk
think-
for hours, you know me.
Yeah, I think you already asked this question though. What was it like when you read the script? What was it like for you when you read it to know that? I mean, because you guys got to see it before anybody else. What was it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you like you said? Your mind was kind of blown from it. What did you think that everybody else was going to think about it when they read it?
Oh, well, there were moments where, the three of us were together and we're like, oh man, like, so, we were like, this person would be great for this role and this person would be great for this role. We basically already had the whole film cast in our head, who we wanted and, the ideas, of who we had. And we're like, I think some people we were like, I wonder how they're going to handle this. I wonder how they're going to handle the material. I wonder how they're going to, handle everything. And everybody that knows us, it's not shocking because we're all, big horror fans and,
Yeah.
we all work in this industry. But, the controversial themes that were in the film were like, questionable. So we were a little worried about going to certain people about things, but but in the end, it's art. It's not real. It is not real. They're fictional characters.
For a reason.
Right. It's make believe. It's not real. And I've done films where I was like, that's not me. It's acting. And there's movies of mine that my mom can't watch. I'm like, Mom, this movie you can't watch, but this movie you can watch. So we have that relationship where, she's one of my biggest fans, and it took a while to get to that point, but she's so supportive and so loving. And, I have that relationship where I can tell her, well, this one you definitely should not watch. This one you can watch. So, in the end, you see the whole cast, everyone in the movie, like they did a fantastic job, and they took that material that we gave them and just brought it to life and, really put their own into it and made those characters their own and really did a fantastic job because, like I said, the themes that we're dealing with throughout the film they're tough. They're controversial. They make you uncomfortable.
Yes, they do.
They're taboo. Right.
Yes.
So,
Very much so.
with every theme with every theme that we have in the film, you know, we treated it with respect. We treated, you know, these characters and what they're going through with respect.
Mhm.
So, you know, we don't make fun of anything.
No.
It's just something
No.
that, you know, they're just sensitive topics, and you know, we did our best to bring them to life a certain way, and I think it worked out. I think it did.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you some of the reactions from me and my friends about this movie because I think you need to hear some of this.
I would love to.
So I watched it first out of our group of friends that we have. I watched it first, and I told you I immediately took a shower right afterwards because I didn't know what I watched.
Yeah.
And Brandon told me, "What the fuck did I just watch? And
Yeah.
what the fuck did you just give me to watch?"
Yeah.
And I
Mind was
had
blown.
uh I had another friend over who I didn't give anything away from it. I just put it on and we watched it. So I gave him nothing about it. I didn't give him no
Oh yeah.
trailer,
Here you
nothing.
go. I know
And
how you work. You just
by
walk
the
in and you just turn the screen on and go, "Here you go. You're watching this," and walk away.
basically, and I said he loves horror movies just like all of us. Raised on Child's Play, Nightmare on Elm Street, the good stuff. I
Good
put it
stuff.
on, and he immediately got to the final scene, which we're not going to talk about. So you have to go watch this film. He got to the final act, and the movie ends. He goes, "Yeah, it's time for me to go home." I'm like, what's the matter? He goes, "I feel really uncomfortable. I need a shower and I need a good night's sleep." I said, "All right, I'll talk to you." And it took him 4 days to message me back.
Since now you brought the final scene up, I'll tell you how I felt about that. I'm sitting there and I'm watching the final scene, and the way the ending is just I'm like I'm like, all right, he, you know, whatever's gonna happen happens, and I didn't expect a twist there at the end. Pretty much, I was thinking the one way, and it was just gonna be done and over with, but not no. It twists it over to the other to the other ways you would think of endings. And then the ending where it's just that's wonderful. And I was like, "Yep,
Yeah.
okay, I'm done." The uncomfortable of me just started to. I'm like, "Yeah, um, I'm glad I didn't have anything to eat because
Yeah,
stomach was not feeling
we
good."
definitely took it up a notch.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
and you know, props to our you know, special effects artist Vincent Guastini and his team. If you look
hmm
him up on IMDb, you'll see all the movies that he's worked on. I mean, he's been in this industry for, you know, 20, 30, 40 years, and he's worked on some of the biggest films. Like, look him up. He's
Yeah.
fantastic.
yeah,
And he really brought, you know, his A game to this, and with his team. And you know, we went to them right away when we knew we were going to start shooting this, so they could, you know, had enough time to prep everything, because it takes time to make, you
yeah.
know, all the things that we have. And you know, they did such a fantastic job, and we're very happy with them.
Yeah. Like as I said, this movie is in the top for because I was blown away, and everybody that's life that I've wrecked, it was blown away by it because the number one reaction that we got was, "This isn't independent." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, because
it is," and they're like,
it shows shot well.
"It does." Yeah,
That's another
it's
thing. It's
Mhm.
shot well.
Well,
It's
and
not
that's
shot. It's shot perfectly, and it's not shot like a. You wouldn't think it's independent because the way it's shot, the way it's acted, the way it's presented. Basically, you wouldn't think it's shot
yeah.
independently wise. And then the fact that it's over a 2 hour movie. Independent movies are
Right.
usually
Well,
not 2 hours.
I'll tell you this: the original cut. I don't know if we'll ever be able to come out with a director's cut or a full cut. But the original cut if I remember correctly, was close to 3 hours.
Oh, yes.
So we actually cut out a shit. Can we swear in here?
Yeah, go for it.
We cut out a shitload of stuff. So you guys haven't even seen all of it. I believe we kept in all the kills. But it was other things, like other different storylines maybe that we had to cut down on. Because we, people just don't have the attention span anymore that they used to. So we were like, okay, we got to cut this down as much as possible to speed it up. But yeah, there's much more to it than what we had, which is crazy.
If he wants to put out 3 hours, I will sit on my couch for 3 hours and indulge myself in it.
Yeah, I would.
Because immediately after watching it, I wanted to see more because I felt like I wanted the story to continue, and I was like, oh, the movie's over? Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Guess I'll accept it.
Unfortunately, the story can't continue.
Yeah, because the way it ends, there's no sequel to it.
We won't spoil anything, but there's just,
All I'm going to say is after people listen to this, Apple TV, Amazon, Amazon for a physical copy. Follow Gigi, follow Sarah, follow Marcel, follow Joe, follow everybody over there. They deserve their praise for this film because it's literally the movie we've been asking for years. And it felt like somebody's actually answered my emails about the horror film that I want. And I finally get the horror film that I want.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Like, we got to give the props to everybody over there because it feels like I see you guys on my screen. I've seen Sarah since Popeye. I've seen you since Pretty Boy. I've seen all you guys, and it's great because you guys have a tight connection with Marcel and Joe. I hope we see you guys in more stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we got Brute 76 up next, and then after Brute 76, we have Brute 86. So we got 2 more coming at you.
Oh God, I can't wait because it looks. I can only imagine because it feels like Texas Chainsaw to me, and I'm a huge Texas Chainsaw
fan. It is our homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Hills Have Eyes.
Oh my God!
Language?
Yes.
And I think I said that on Instagram. I think I said on Instagram is Texas Chainsaw meets The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't have anything like that right now, anywhere.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we're definitely, because like I said, we're all huge fans of horror films, and those films in particular, the ones from the 70s, they were just a different feeling. They gave you a different feeling back in the day, and they scared you. Like, they were actually legit terrifying because they felt so real. And so we wanted to kind of try to bring that back, that feeling back. And I think we did. We definitely did. Mm-hmm. And with Brute 86, that it takes place 10 years later, and that one's going to be more of our Friday the 13th vibe.
Now we're cooking.
So 76 takes place in the desert. 86 takes place in the woods.
That's all you have to say to me.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say. Like,
there you go.
Like, just tell me where to
We're
throw my
hitting
money.
All the fan favorites.
Yeah.
Like,
since you're on the trajectory of all of the films that we've done together, you guys have to watch That's a Wrap.
That is on the top of my list.
I think you're really going to dig it. And I think it's on Tubi, if not Amazon, all the other stuff. But yeah, I think you guys will love that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big shout out to Tubi too for giving us a channel for all the independent stuff. Like, that's like my main channel in my house.
Sweet.
All right, Brian, you got anything else before we wrap up?
No.
Did we cover everything?
I think we covered everything. Yeah, I think we covered everything.
I have someone that wants to say hi.
Oh,
puppy.
This is Larry, and he's my little buddy.
Hi, Larry.
He's a He's a terrier chihuahua mix.
Oh.
And he's such a good little boy. He's my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
When are we going to see Larry in a film?
Well, I don't know. You may just see him at some point. But I do have another pet that was in Garden of Eden. Eden the snake.
That's
That's
actually
my
your snake?
Oh, that's cool.
So what's funny about that? Everybody that has watched that film in my house has called that the clock snake. It's the clock snake.
Yeah.
The clock snake?
Yeah, because every time you see it, it's wrapped around the clock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Yep.
so they everybody was
because
like,
she represents God, and she pops up in important transitions throughout the film. So I think she pops up 3 or 4 times.
4 times.
But yeah, that's my baby girl.
That's awesome. See, now I know everything now. It's very
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so where can everybody follow you?
Okay, so you guys can follow me. I'm on Instagram at Sarah French Online. Also Facebook under Sarah French, and X, formerly Twitter. I'm under Scarlet_Salem. And you can also follow our movies, Garden of Eden, Pretty Boy, and Brute 76 on Instagram. And you can also follow Eden the Snake on Instagram. She has her own page.
Well, I know who I'm following right after this.
Yeah. Awesome.
Everybody go get Garden of Eden off of Amazon, buy a physical copy, tell these people how great they're doing, because they're taking over horror as we speak.
Yep.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for joining us.
Yep. Thank you.
Brandon, you got anything else?
Nah,
Thank
just
you,
go out and show
guys.
them love and support, man.
Go buy a box of Garden of Eden Blu-rays and pass them out at Christmas time. Because I will.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank
I
you
would
very much
love
for
to see
joining
the
us.
reactions of that.
I'll do it. Like,
Thank
thank you very
Don't put
much
it
for
past
joining
us.
us again.